What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on a new episode of ReZero Starting Life in Another World Season 2 on episode 27 or episode 2. Anyways, this episode right here. Well, nothing much I can really give you out in total detail, etc. But all I can really tell you is it's gonna be a lot of intensity nowadays, especially the way how it ended and everything all together, especially that person showing up to my shock. But whatever the case may be, let's just get this started. Forgive me for the background out there. I just have some noisy feral cats nowadays. But yeah. Anyways, this episode, let's start off at the beginning. We have to it that Krush and the others take their parting ways, and they end up going back to Rosewell's mansion. And then eventually it looks really empty, and no one's really there. With the exception of one person and another, which I can explain, I can explain about those two later. Anyways, the first person to show up at the mansion or greeted Subaru and Emilia after they have a little small talk before they arrived to the mansion, which I don't really see much importance, but all I can really tell you is that the village was really empty the moment everyone arrived over there, and second, that something about the sanctuary that Rosewell and many other villagers are possibly are being at right now and under protection or something. Whatever the case may be, continuing on, etc. Going to the mansion, the first person to greet Subaru and Emilia is this person named Frederica or something. She apparently was part of the maids of working under him, but left for personal reasons. But she came back after Ram, if I remember correctly. Ram called her for assistance for other reasons alone, which we all know why. Okay, jokes aside and being cringy at the moment, before things get into questioning about where Rosewell is at, Subaru decides to go visit Beatrice, or Byaku in other cases of a nice nickname that Subaru gave her, and ask her and decides to tease her a bit nowadays, but later on she says, okay, enough. Why are you here? Get straight to the point. Subaru asks, where do you think Rosewell is thinking, or what is he doing, etc. Eventually, we have to it that Subaru decides to show Byaku or Beatrice a book that belonged to Betelgeuse or Beetlejuice or Geese, whatever that whatever that freaking guy is in the first season. He's dead. Beatrice and Byaku is really shocked about this and ask him what happened to his witch faction, Aside from that, she also feels troubled by this while he's gone, saying, so, you left me too, didn't you? I'm thinking in my mind, wait a minute, do you have a connection to him? The way how she said it and the way how she's troubled or possibly saddened or conflicted to think that he's dead or to know that he's dead, it seems like she might have a connection to him. Though, it's just a hypothesis or just a guess. But aside from that, Byaku or Beatrice says all I can really tell you, find the sanctuary and you'll find your answers over there, etc. Although Subaru wants to ask more questions involving what's going on here, she says, I have the right to refuse you, so get out, and she just forces Subaru out of her library and says, get out, etc. Eventually, Frederica decides to give out the information to Subaru and Emilia about where the sanctuary is, and it's at a certain forest or something called the Lost Woods. And eventually, we see Petra in this episode where she's dressed up as a maid, I guess, and I guess she decides to work over there temporary, or she just wants to go with Subaru and we all know why, I guess, because in the first episode of season 2 is shown, and now second episode she's like, oh my gosh, man. Whatever the case may be, that young girl decides to work at Rosewell's mansion, possibly for the temporary time. I don't know what the situation is, but that's how I look at it. But if she's working there permanently, whatever, man. I mean, whatever. Aside from that, as the episode continues on, we have that Subaru and Emilia decides to go on their way to their to the location where the sanctuary that Rosewell and possibly the other villagers might be at right now, currently. But aside from that, what they don't know is that Frederica was actually supposed to give out these orders in the first place the moment the letter was given to her by Rosewell, you know? And that everything else is now depending on Amelia herself. Because I don't know whatever the instructions she was given, this is part of possibly Amelia's test. Whatever the case may be, we have yet to actually find out, but who knows? Whatever the case may be, they have to be wary of one person named Garfield. That's all his name is. His name is Garfield. Watch out for that guy, and you better hurry up and get there before nighttime because it gets really dangerous at night. At that moment. You know, whatever the case may be, there was a talk between Amelia and Subaru about Puck, you know. It seems like to me he's gone quiet again, and although, like, Subaru questions about that, Amelia says he did do this maybe a couple times back then, but it's rarely most of the time, and this is the other time he's doing it. But aside from that, it looks like to me Subaru took off something from Amelia that was given by Frederica, that he believes something bad is going to happen. He takes it off her. All of a sudden, Amelia gets knocked into unconscious, or she gets knocked out into unconsciousness for some reason. Whatever the case may be, she was knocked out unconscious, and then Subaru, on the other hand, gets teleported somewhere else somehow. He ends up seeing a girl and tries to follow her, and later on, some other girl shows up and talks to Subaru and says, "Hey, it's been a while since I talked to someone, you know? So, maybe I was kind of too eager, but allow me to introduce myself. I am the witch agreed Echidna, you know? Etc." I'm thinking in my mind, okay, now this is where it's going to get very, very ugly. So, yeah, overall, all I could really tell you without a lot of detail, Subaru, Amelia parted ways with Krush in good terms, and then they all returned to Rosewell's mansion, but they stopped by the village first, which seems very empty, like a ghost town. Get introduced by Frederica. Subaru decides to talk to Byakuya for some answers, and Byakuya says, "Go find your answers at the sanctuary." After after a couple talks about some book whatsoever, and then let's see here, and Amelia and Subaru given instructions by Frederica to go to this lost woods, and then Subaru messes with the necklace that Amelia was wearing. She gets knocked out unconscious, and then Subaru gets teleported somewhere and meets the witch agreed Echidna. So don't really know what's really bound to happen next for Subaru, but one thing for sure, I think he may have to go through some death loop again, but we'll have to see. Alright, so until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace out. Bye bye. Toot toot.